Tonight at 5, the case against a couple charged in connection to a poison plot advances in court. How we got here and when their trial will begin.
And now we transition from wind and a local fire risk to the potential for alert day conditions for heavy wet snow. I'll use Future Track to show you where that will likely line up in southern Wisconsin in just a couple of moments.
Plus a spike in car thefts in Madison. Which areas of the city police say the crime is happening the most? You're watching News 3 Now at 5. Well, good evening and thanks for having us in. Susan Simon and Eric Franke have the night off. We're continuing to follow that breaking news we brought you during Live at 4. A 51-year-old Madison woman is charged in connection to the crash that killed a Madison high school student while he was on his way to class. The Dane County District Attorney has charged Kathleen Borgwart with one count of second-degree reckless homicide. Her bond has been set at $5,000. Police say Borgwart was driving 62 miles per hour when she hit 17-year-old Sasha Rosen on South Park Street. That was in a 25-mile-per-hour zone. The time of the crash was 7:42 in the morning. Borgwart was on her way to work to start a shift that was beginning just 3 minutes later in Oregon. If convicted, Borgwart could spend up to 25 years behind bars. Since the crash, there have been changes made to the area of South Park Street.
We all kind of woke our eyes up that morning into a tragic event, and it's something we can't take back, right? But there are things that we can do to keep monitoring and looking.
You can hear exactly what those changes are later on News 3 Now at 6. Our Tanisha Shaw will bring you that full story. And some breaking news just into the newsroom. Middleton police say they've arrested a 15-year-old from Middleton High School after he allegedly brought an airsoft pistol to school. Police are referring charges to the district attorney. Those are having a dangerous weapon on school premises, resisting an officer, and disorderly conduct. High fire danger today due to breezy weather, but some snow could change that. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington is here with when we could see some of those flakes. Alex.
Right, Brady. Last night we started mentioning, hey, we need to keep an eye out for the potential for alert day conditions with this second weather system that we've been tracking for 10 days. And that would be Thursday overnight going into Friday morning. That has not changed. That's the timing. Several inches of wet, heavy snow is what we're up against with that best chance north and west of Madison. Here's what I'm thinking right now. Areas Madison, north and west up towards La Crosse have the best chance for seeing that heavy wet snow band, with the most likely area right now stretching from Prairie du Chien to Richland Center up towards Wisconsin Dells. But with these types of weather systems, February going into March, there's a lot of water in them, and that band is often very narrow and very easily can shift north or south or east or west. So we're keeping a close eye in this zone from La Crosse to Madison for the chance for that heavy wet snow as we go into Thursday overnight going on into Friday. Don't want to dismiss. We still have strong winds out there. We still do have that fire risk out there. The greater risk for a fire, though, is out in Iowa and parts of northern Illinois, where the winds have been stronger today, gusting at times upwards of 50 miles per hour over parts of far southwest Wisconsin. And we will have more wind in the forecast as well with this next weather system that brings that threat for accumulating snow. When I come back in a few minutes, we'll use Future Track to show you the rain, the thunderstorms, changing over to that heavy wet snow and the wind that you can expect by Friday morning.
See you soon. Thanks, Alex. Right now, a former Milton police officer is accused of crashing into a home. Online court records show Angelica Harder is charged with causing injury and operating while under the influence. Prosecutors say after midnight on January 17th, Harder drunkenly crashed into a home on South John Paul Road. A father was sleeping on the couch with his child and was hurt during the crash. Police tell us Harder has resigned from her role with the department. A Rock County court date has been set for trial for the suspects in a poison plot from last year. Paul Van Dyne and Andrea Whitaker will be on trial in March next year for 6 charges each. Among those charges, attempted first-degree intentional homicide. Prosecutors say the couple used various chemicals to try to kill women Van Dyne had previously dated. Both are also charged in Dane County. Trial dates in that case have yet to be set. Madison police are confirming reports of shots fired overnight on the north side. Officers responded to Northport Drive just before 2 in the morning for multiple calls about hearing gunshots. They found casings, damaged cars, and a damaged building. Police say video surveillance shows several people gunfire and one person possibly being hit. No one showed up at local hospitals, so. This week, Madison police sent out an incident report warning residents of an increase in car thefts. News 3 Now's Jalen Banks joins us now with a more in-depth look into this trend.
Madison police say there was a spike in car thefts. I sat down with the department to find out what they're doing to reverse that trend. From January of last year to January of 2026, there's been a 19% increase in car thefts. 37 cars were stolen, and the map on your screen provided by MPD shows the location of each of the thefts. The department says 60% of them happened on the east or the north side of Madison.
We're doing, just extra patrols in the areas where we are seeing these increases, the neighborhoods and, specifically the streets. Then we're also doing, extra patrols in the areas where these cars are being dropped off and abandoned.
Police say thieves have been messing with steering columns or broken sunroofs to get access to vehicles, while others are using locksmith professional technology to take cars.
Sometimes, parking lots, it's easy for thieves to quickly get in, kind of look to see which, vehicle would be an easy access point for them to get in and get out and get away. So that's kind of what we're seeing when it comes to that trend.
The department also says that Hyundai and Kia cars are the most targeted, a trend seen nationwide.
We're still seeing that pattern that we saw since 2022, where Kias and Hyundais are being targeted.
And Fryer tells me that Madison police is assigning detectives to each of the auto thefts. For now, reporting on Madison's east side, Jalen Banks, News 3 Now.
Jalen, thank you. Officers say to prevent thefts, you can install a kill switch in your vehicle, park in a garage if possible, or use steering wheel locks. We have new information about a UW-Madison student charged for allegedly taking videos of his classmates in the bathroom. A criminal complaint says 19-year-old Braden Burnt took dozens of videos of students in the Celery Residence Hall bathroom. Burnt is charged with 3 counts of disorderly conduct and 3 counts of capturing an image depicting nudity without consent. He's banned from Celery Hall and has posted bond. With the state assembly set to adjourn at the end of the week, lawmakers are looking to pass bills that address their priorities. Republicans want to send a bill to the governor's desk that would put a limit on virtual currency kiosk transactions to fight scams that target the elderly.
In my Marathon County, in last summer, we lost $180,000 because of scams with crypto kiosks.
Meanwhile, Democrats are looking to pass Gale's Law and postpartum Medicaid expansion before the week ends. Gale's Law would make breast cancer screenings more accessible, and postpartum Medicaid expansion would extend the time a woman is covered after giving birth to a year. At a news conference today, Assembly Democrats said they would add the laws to every bill on the calendar.
Republicans could bring both of these bills to the floor and save women's lives today. That's possible.
We'll keep you updated on the fate of these bills over the air and online on channel3000.com. A Dane County board supervisor is looking to shrink the size of the board he works on. Jeff Wigand is proposing a reduction to the size of the board by 10 members. Currently, the Dane County board has 37 members. That's the second largest in the state. Milwaukee County has 18. Wigand says this would save taxpayers tens of thousands of dollars. Governor Evers is calling to end partisan gerrymandering in Wisconsin. Gerrymandering is when electoral districts' boundaries are redrawn and manipulated in a way to give a political party an advantage. Political reporter Ellie Liberté joins us now. So Ellie, how does the governor want to end gerrymandering?
Well, Brady, he wants to amend our state's constitution, but it's not just as simple as approving a change. To get a constitutional amendment on the ballot for voters to approve, it'll have to pass the legislature in 2 consecutive sessions.
Politics should stay out of the redistricting from start to finish.
Governor Evers announcing Tuesday he will call a special session this spring to ban partisan gerrymandering.
We still don't have a nonpartisan redistricting process in place. That means there's no guarantee Wisconsinites still have fair maps after the next census.
The push comes 2 years after the governor signed new maps into law. But before that,
Wisconsin was one of the most egregiously gerrymandered states in the country.
By aiming for a constitutional amendment, UW-Madison professor emeritus Howard Schwaber says Governor Evers is making a statement.
And if you Wisconsinites agree with me that this is a threat to democracy, then the only way we can protect ourselves is by putting it into the Constitution.
Evers' push comes as the Trump administration urges other states to adopt maps that favor Republicans.
As a result, Democratic legislators have been put in the unthinkable position to respond by trying to restore balance.
Assembly Speaker Robin Vos telling reporters Tuesday he's open to listening to the governor's proposal.
All the Democrats across the country are rushing to gerrymander. I hope he's sincere in saying he doesn't want that, but call me skeptical.
Evers' call for a special session comes as the Assembly has a self-imposed deadline. It's set to adjourn for the year 2 campaign by the end of the week.
I know this has been a big topic in a lot of different states, but back here, what would a special session here look like, Ellie?
Yeah, so a little background on the governor's power. He can call a session, but he can't dictate what that looks like. So in previous sessions he's called, essentially the Republican leaders of that chamber can just gavel in and gavel out. It's happened in matters of seconds before. But we did hear the governor during his State of the State address say that he would call the legislature back into session throughout the year. So something to watch.
Yeah, it's been a busy session. You've been
Indeed.
very busy out there.
Indeed.
All right, thank you, Ellie.
Thank you.
Well, up next at 5, new data shows the impact the local airport has on the economy and how much money the airport generates and how many jobs it supports. It may still be warm out today, but we know that could soon change. Alex joins us with a look at when we could see some snow in the full first warn forecast. And before we head to break, here's a look at Wall Street, how it ended at the day. The Dow gained 129 points. The Nasdaq is up 175. The S&P 500 is up 38. Stay with us. News 3 Now at 5 will be back right after this.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5, moving forward.
Welcome back. We're back with more local news. We have new numbers regarding the Dane County Regional Airport's impact on the local economy. A study from Tourism Economics shows the airport has a more than $2.5 billion economic impact. It supported more than 10,000 jobs across the region in 2024.
Every additional flight and every additional passenger coming through this airport strengthens the momentum that we already have achieved. It fuels our growth, it expands our opportunity, and makes sure that Dane County is even more connected and more competitive.
This as the airport continues to add more direct flights to cities like Boston. National FFA Week kicks off on Saturday. Now, each year, FFA chapters around the country, including here in Wisconsin, celebrate the impact the organization has on members every day. FFA used to stand for Future Farmers of America, but it's since evolved into a group that is also for people who want to be scientists, doctors, business owners, and more.
We're really focusing on premier leadership, personal growth, and career success through agriculture education. So while that agriculture tie is important, it's so much more than that, and really learning how to better yourself for not only your future, but for what you're doing right now.
FFA Week ends on February 28th. We now know who will move forward to the general election this April. Immigration attorney Huma Asan and incumbent Ben Jones are set to face off for the position of Dane County Circuit Court Judge, Branch 1. In the race for Dane County Supervisor, Sean Burke and Tommy Rylander will face off. Burke barely made it through with just more than 10 votes, more than Otis Harris. And in District 15, voters will have to choose between Amy Larson and Nino Amato for their supervisor. Larson led last night with 61% of the vote. Amato came in at 33%. Now, these are just a few of the big races News 3 Now has been following since Tuesday's primary. A full list of the results and who will be on your ballot come spring is online at channel3000.com. To receive updates about the election directly to your phone, you can download our free mobile app. Well, from politics to weather, let's say spring weather has been the incumbent, but winter is back to challenge it, Alex?
Yes, both. They're going to be fighting over the course of the next 24 hours. But I do want to focus on southern Wisconsin because we stand the best chance in the state of Wisconsin of seeing some wet, heavy snow as we go into Thursday overnight into Friday. We've been mentioning this now for a couple of days, and last night I was mentioning this potential for alert day period Thursday overnight into Friday. It still looks likely with the best chances of that band of heavy wet snow eyeing up areas Madison and just to the north and towards the west. So we're going to focus on this part of southern Wisconsin here where I'm eyeing up the best chance for that wet heavy snow as we go into Thursday night. Scattered showers and thunderstorms developing. Then that weather system will then eventually turn that rain over to wet, heavy snow in southwest Wisconsin. It will be a sharp cutoff on the north end of that. There'll be a sharp cutoff on the south end of that. And where that band sets up, the middle of that band is where the heaviest snow will fall. And I think that's going to fall from northern Grant County right up into the Lone Rock area up towards the Dells as we move a little bit further. There you see that band pivoting across southern Wisconsin Friday morning right at 6 o'clock. That's an important time in southern Wisconsin because that's the commute time to work and to school. We'll have gusty winds as well as we exit that snow out of the area, and eventually the weather system presses off towards the east. So taking note, again, Friday morning, the best chance for that accumulating snow is going to eye up areas from Boscobel up towards Lone Rock, up towards the Wisconsin Dells area, areas near Richland Center, areas as far south and east as Madison could pick up some of that heavy wet snow. That northern part of that band, we may have to shift further towards the south from central Wisconsin down further into southern Wisconsin. And these types of weather systems in February and March, they have a lot of water in them. When you have a lot of water in a weather system, there's a very, very sharp cutoff in snowfall amounts on either side of where that heavy band is going to set up. Regardless of where that band sets up, the wind is coming back. It's going to be strong, gusting at times to 30 to 40 miles per hour Friday morning, lasting into Friday afternoon as well. Not expecting a fire danger risk on Friday because we'll have had this precipitation in the form of rain and snow to at least weten up some of those dry fuels in southern Wisconsin on Friday. Lows tonight in the 20s to near 30, although a couple of isolated areas in the Wisconsin River Valley could dip into the lower 20s. That's where the temperatures tend to cool down the most, are in those river valleys. Around 40 for high in Camp Douglas, around 50 in Madison, low 50s in far southeast Wisconsin towards Janesville, over towards the Darien and the Elkhorn area, where they will be a little bit closer to the warmer part of this weather system. Don't want to dismiss, we still have wind advisories in southwest Wisconsin. We have red flag warnings where they have wildfires burning in parts of Iowa and Illinois, but thank goodness at this point there are no wildfires to my understanding in southern Wisconsin. That greater danger is off towards the south and towards the west, but this is not a night to be doing any lighting of any fires while we stay windy and we stay dry, at least until the sun sets and until temperatures start to cool down. We've had winds gusting as high as 50 miles per hour in Lone Rock and in Platteville and in Monroe, with 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts across the rest of southern Wisconsin. Now that wind is going to be coming back again Thursday night into Friday behind this weather system. Later tonight we'll get another update with our weather models, Brady, to eye up are there any shifts in that band, a potential for heavy wet snow that could impact the Friday morning commute. Very likely a period of alert day conditions. Just the flip-flopping with those weather models makes it very difficult to pinpoint that exact area, but I want folks to know from Madison and areas to the northwest, that is the zone right now where it looks like the best chance for that heavy wet snow late Thursday night going into Friday morning will set up. We're keeping a very close eye on that.
We've been on quite the ride lately, haven't we?
It's been everything from the bitter cold to we warmed up back to normal to record-breaking highs in the 60s to thunderstorms to more thunderstorms tomorrow to snow. So we're heading towards spring and we're getting in that mode of ever-changing weather. You know, what the saying is, it's Wisconsin, the weather can change in 5 minutes.
Yep, if you don't like it now, it'll change. Thanks,
Yes, it
Alex.
will.
Well, a reminder, nominations are open for Madison Magazine's Best of Madison. You can log on to channel3000.com and click on the link to nominate your favorites, like Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. You have until the end of the month, and we're also celebrating the city's best businesses and leaders. Join us for the Best of Business program, February 27th at the Concourse Hotel. You can learn more and get tickets on our website. That's channel3000.com. Still ahead at 5, cases of medication-resistant salmonella are popping up across the country, linked to capsules sold online. How many people have gotten sick and whether any of them are in Wisconsin.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5, moving forward.
In national news, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg took the stand today in the landmark social media addiction trial. The plaintiff in the case alleges Google and Meta intentionally addicted her to their apps when she was a child, damaging her mental health. During his testimony today, Zuckerberg said Instagram has shifted away from the previous goal of maximizing how much time people spent on the platform. Outside of the courthouse, advocates and family members of those who have struggled with social media's impact.
The intention of the company was to prey on teens, use teens' usage, exploit them so they can make greater profits.
Allegations, so does Google, the parent company of YouTube. TikTok and Snapchat have settled in the case. Meanwhile, Meta is facing a separate social media-related trial in New Mexico. In Washington, D.C., as the partial government shutdown continues, the White House is rejecting the latest proposal from Democrats to end the stalemate. In exchange for funding the Department of Homeland Security, Democrats want to see several reforms to ICE, and that would include agents needing a judicial warrant to enter private property. Democrats also want agents to remove their masks during operations. As of right now, negotiations to end the impasse are only happening among staffers. The White House and Democratic leaders still are not engaging in direct talks.
Doesn't mean he's not willing to. I'm just not aware of any conversations that have taken place.
I'm not averse to sitting down with any high-level members of the administration if, in good faith, they're prepared to discuss the type of dramatic changes that are needed.
The Department of Homeland Security says a prolonged shutdown will impact more than 200,000 federal employees and could lead to disruptions with TSA, FEMA, and the Coast Guard. Now to a recall alert, the CDC and the FDA are looking into drug-resistant salmonella infections linked to Rosabella moringa capsules. And you may have bought these online from Amazon, TikTok, Shine, or eBay. There have been 7 cases of people getting sick and 3 hospitalizations. None of the salmonella cases have been in Wisconsin yet. Coming up at 6, the changes Madison school leaders are making after a student was hit by a car on South Park Street earlier this month. That story and more local news in 30 minutes on News 3 Now at 6. And Alex, apparently I can't get rid of my snow boots just yet.
No, I would keep them close by because we are tracking the potential for some heavy wet snow in parts of southern Wisconsin. Alert day period later Thursday night into Friday is a distinct possibility for several inches of that heavy wet snow. The best chances will be Madison and areas towards the north and towards the west. So you don't want to miss that. Join us tonight during our 6 o'clock newscast. I'll show where that best chance will line up.
Thanks for watching News 3 Now at 5. We'll be back here in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6. You can always find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+.